Hello, this is Dan Ferrisi, Editor-in-Chief with Commercial Integrator here at the HDBaseT booth at ISE 2023. Really happy to be joined by Keith Kennedy, who is Managing Director with ProITAV. Thank you so much, Keith, for being here with me today.
Dan, thank you for having us.
So I want to talk a little bit about ProITAV because I've been covering the industry as a technology journalist for a lot of years, but it's not a name that you hear every day. Can you talk a little bit about the organization and the role that it plays in the industry?
Sure, Dan. You probably shouldn't hear about us. Because we are an OEM, ODM manufacturer, which basically means we're the company behind all the brands that are out there. So we've been in business for about 20 years. We're based in Shenzhen, China. And I run the global operations outside of China, based in Orlando, Florida. And I've been in this industry for about 38 years and been doing manufacturing for about 20 now, and 9 doing this. So we're a company that builds products for lots of companies, whether it be something that they just rebrand out of our catalog or a full-on custom product. But we focus on AV signal management, so splitting, switching, extension, HDBaseT. So we've been working with Valens and HDBaseT technology since the beginning, through all the different versions, all the different specs, and we were one of their launch partners for the new chipset, the VS3000, which is what is being featured here today.
I know that you're very well represented behind me to my left on the power wall as far as building for some of these companies. Just between you and me, no one else is watching. Who do you build for?
Well, Dan, the list is very, very long, and I could share it with you, but then you'd probably have to disappear between here and going back to the States.
I guess if that's the choice, I'll just stay in suspense. So tell me a little bit about what makes you different from other ODMs. What makes you signature? What value do you bring that maybe others do not?
So if you look at the Powerwall or most other products in the signal management world, the vast majority of them come from Asia, whether it be from Taiwan or China or India, Vietnam. Very few companies make things in the US. There's a couple that are left, but not many. So if you're working with one of those companies, you're basically dealing with people that are 12, 15 hours away, different time zones, different language, different culture. And so when I came into this role 9 years ago, I wanted to do something different. Obviously, we had to start small and build up, and that's what I've done. But over time, I built a team in the US of 10 professionals that are AV guys, that are guys that have been working in manufacturing, living in China, living in Taiwan, living in all these places, that know how to work with a customer to take a concept all the way through development, manufacturing, and launch. And no other vendor out of Asia has that. They might have one guy, maybe two, they're salespeople, but you can talk to double E's, mechanical engineers. I have certified project managers. I have an industrial design and marketing person. So we put together a team, and that's why we have a stable of customers that are the who's who of the Pro AV brands around the world.
That is so critical. It all ultimately comes down to the team, and to be able to put together a group like that is really a key distinguishing factor. I also want to talk not only about your relationship with HDBaseT, but how you're bringing HDBaseT into the UC&C space, which is so ascendant right now. Everyone is talking about UC&C. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure, Dan. So obviously signal management is our core. That's what we've been doing for 20 years. We were one of the first HDMI adopters. We were very early on with HDBaseT technology. So several years ago, we saw what was going to be happening with people working remotely, hybrid workplaces, more and more video conferencing, the ascendance of Zoom and Teams and all these other platforms. And so we started developing our own line of video bars, cameras, microphones, speaker phones, and things like that. And there's lots of companies out there that do that. So we wanted to have a standard line of products that we could provide to our customers, but we also wanted to add our own little twist on it. Well, what do? We take the goodness of all of the signal management stuff that we can do, whether it be wired or wireless, and we start building them into these UCC products. So we have speaker phones that you can put on the table that have HDBaseT built into it. So you can run one cable from here to the display on the other end of the room, plug the display into it, plug the camera into the USB port, bring it all back, connect up one cable via USB-C. The same thing for our video bars. Our video bars, you can come in, you can connect to it. If you need to extend it, it has HDBaseT. You can also cast from your phone, from your tablet, from your computer, so all of those kinds of things, and it's only going to get better and better as we start building more things into it. Valens is showing some really cool things here right now with direct DHDI interfaces between several different Valens chips and being able to do multiple displays and sharing multiple USB devices in a room, and building that into what we do will be just even that much more amazing.
Well, thank you so much, Keith, for giving me a rundown on what ProITAV is doing and all the accomplishments you've had so far over a very long career and everything you're looking forward to in the future. Really appreciate your time and really appreciate the explanation.
Thank you, my pleasure, and great to be here.
So happy to have been joined by Keith Kennedy of ProITAV, the Managing Director. My name is Dan Ferrisi, Editor-in-Chief with Commercial Integrator. So happy as always to be here at the HDBaseT Alliance booth at ISE 2023.